Hey, what's up guys? Jason here, back with a Royal Revolt 2 guide and tutorial type video on how to not suck in Royal Revolt 2 for beginners. We are looking at our free-to-play, 100% free-to-play account here in the low levels. We haven't played with this account in around 3 months or so. He is roughly around 1,200 trophies, and we will take a look here. And a lot has changed in those 3 months, so we are going to give you my expert opinion on how to level up, how to build your base, what's effective or what's good, what you have to do, what you shouldn't do. So it's going to be a long series. We're going to do probably about 3 videos. So this is going to be part 1. We are going to also take a look at some raids. The main important thing to do now is level up your alliance tower. It is actually really cheap to do, and it's over here by the throne room on the top right here. You want to at least get this up to level 1 so that way you can join an alliance. So now you open up, you can join an alliance, you can search for an alliance, it will give you some random ones, and you want to join an alliance. So even by just joining this one right here, we have joined the alliance, so now we're going to get a gold boost. And we're also going to get these elite boosts. So our knights are now blazing knights, and they're going to get a 31% increase in damage with fire damage, and they're also going to get a 24% HP increase. So they've got a huge power buff just by joining up with an alliance. That boost will not always be active. You actually have to donate to the alliance to help grow the alliance and actually keep those boosts active. But yeah, for right now we are getting a free bonus, and we're also getting a free 8% gold boost. So joining an alliance has a ton of great features. You can also make a lot of friends, and it's just a great way. You can chat in there. There's a chat box. So definitely join an alliance. You can leave whenever you want. Don't worry about that if you find a better one. So here's a quick look at where we're at stat-wise. We are, what is this, level 37. So the most important part is to level up your king. And you level up your king by doing a lot of fights. That's the way you level up. You get experience for attacking people. Don't worry really about the gear. As you level up, you'll progressively find better gear in the treasure chest and better gear in the granny shop. So do not spend a lot. Do not spend a lot of time or money in this shop right here. What you can do is you can buy some items that have the gold, that cost gold. So like this one right here, it'd be okay. 60,000 gold is pretty easy to get, but do not spend 100 gems on this helmet, or do not spend 267 gems on this sword right here. Those things are going to get outclassed in a matter of days. So as you level up, you progressively get stronger and better gear. So do not buy anything in the granny shop that does not cost gold. Gold is actually farmable. Everything else, pearls and diamonds and gems, they are not farmable really. You have to actually use real life money to get them. You can get pearls or gems by winning these tournaments over here, and also by unlocking achievements. This is going to be your primary income source of gems, is by getting medals and then getting first, second, or third place and getting a decent amount. We are in the very first tournament here. They give 25 for winning. So we're going to go and try and actually boost up our medals. You can see this one right here is giving us 204 medals, which is a pretty good amount, I believe, in the low levels. I don't know exactly because, I haven't been playing. So this is like my second or third raid here. Try to do an earlier video on these raids, but my phone kept crashing. So hopefully we can get through this and win this tournament here, show off the medals. We are going to go and attack. He has no boost on. These guys, if they're boosted, they will be a bright purple. You can see like here we have a bright purple on our knights, and that means he is boosted. So if he has boosted troops, they will be bright purple. So be aware when those things are bright purple. That means his troops and towers are way stronger, and they're going to have a lot more life. So it's going to be a lot tougher to go through those bases. So just keep that in mind when you are attacking. And when you're attacking in the early stages, you want to level your knights up as soon as possible, because the knights are the first troop you get. They're the best DPS in the game in the beginning, and maybe even going further on, they may have the highest DPS potential. But they have a huge downside, is that they are a melee unit, and they can't do well against a lot of towers, especially the higher level towers. But for the first, say, 50 to 60 hero levels, you will be using a lot of knights. And there's a tremendous strength in numbers. You want to make sure when you're fighting bomb towers that you kick those bombs back. So you'll see the bomb tower will throw a bomb on the ground, and you can actually kick those bombs back to the bomb tower to do damage to the bomb tower rather than having it explode on you and your units. So make sure that you kick those bombs back to the tower. When you start getting higher up like here, you're going to notice that there are towers like this. This is the gargoyle tower, and you also see a water tower. Those things do a massive amount of damage to knights because you have to be close up to attack them with the knights, and it just pours out lava and pours out water. So those are very, very detrimental to knights. What you want to do then is you want to bring out a cannon or two. And the cannon has tremendous range. It has the best range in the game. So it will shoot off and destroy all those towers. And then you can spam the rest of the knights, and the knights will stay alive for the most part. The knights are like Zerglings if you've ever played StarCraft, or just like, say, like chess, or like the pawns. You use them in a brute force numbers game and just have spamming them over and over again. And you overwhelm your opponent with just sheer numbers. Occasionally, you want to throw a few cannons in there to, back up the knights and to, protect the offensive strategy in case they have a lot of snake towers, skull towers, or snake towers, or gargoyle towers, because the knights, they do horrible against those, especially the water tower. So any tower that does a big AoE effect and you have to get up close and personal to hit, those things are very, very strong against knights. So we just picked up 200 and some odd medals, and now we have another base here. Probably the most important thing to worry about in the beginning of the game is unlocking these two slots. When you start off, these two slots are locked, and they cost 600 or 500 gems to unlock. You want to get the spell slot first. You really only need 2 units to attack with. So later on in the game, eventually you'll unlock the 3rd unit because you'll need that 3rd unit for different attacking strategies. But in the beginning of the game, all you need is 3 spell slots. Having another spell slot will actually increase your damage percent roughly by 33%. Because you only have 2 and you add a 3rd one, you increase your damage output by tons. There are different spells. These are the ones that I'd like to use for the early levels. And the reason is the Hammer Strike is the first spell you get. It's a really quick cooldown. It does blunt damage, which all the towers are weak to blunt damage. And then the Firestorm, again, is a really strong attacking spell that you can move and burn several targets at once with. So don't just sit there and burn the thing down. Actually, just tap it. Like you'll notice here, I'll go in and explain a little more. So pop the Firestorm and run and touch. All you have to do is touch, and everything burns that fire effect. So make sure that you're just running and utilizing the fire effect of the Firestorm and touching as many towers as possible with it. When you are attacking, when there's a barricade in your way here, you want to go to the corner and use your spell right here in the corner, because you can actually hit that bomb tower right there as well. On offense, if you are using knights, you're going to be looking out for these pyromancers. They do a ton of damage. They do AoE effect. They burn all your units. And they will pretty much devour the knights. So we have a whole bunch of cannons. I accidentally spawned cannons this time, but that's alright. See, as we're going forward, the cannons will take out this gargoyle tower. And unfortunately, they actually all died to that bomb. So that's, if you don't kick the bomb back, it blows up and does a massive amount of damage. You got to be careful on that. When you see a gargoyle or a pyromancer, you want to use your 3rd spell over here, the sword rain, and you typically want to try and time it before the pyromancer launches his firebolt. The sword rain has a tremendous range. It can almost hit anything on the entire screen. So you got to get familiar with your spells and utilize them to the best of your ability. And again, a lot of it is timing. And then don't just button mash. You have to think strategically on, using your spells. So like there, we saved our sword rain for that. We're going to go kick those bombs back to make sure that they go back. Again, we're going to go kick those bombs back because the hero is extremely powerful, but he's not as powerful as 15 knights pounding away. He can only do so much. He's only one unit. Now you have 15 knights that are just damage per second, damage per second, damage per second, taking down that cascade. So he was they were so damn powerful that we didn't even clear the 2 towers on the side. So it's alright if you don't get 100%. Don't worry about the trophies. Do not worry about trophies whatsoever. Your main focus should be getting gems and getting gold. And so you get gems by getting these, the medals, and you get gold by winning fights and also getting into the Chamber of Fortune and collecting these treasure chests. So after you get down and defeat the castle gate, you get the treasure chest. You open the chest up, and most likely you're going to see gold in there. Every so often you'll find gems, and you'll find hero gear as well. You can get a skull chest, which means you have to pay money, pay gems to go on. It's not worthwhile to use gems to open up those chests, so do not do it. The only thing you want to use your gems for in the beginning of the game is to unlock your 3rd spell slot. Once you have your 3rd spell slot, you can now start using gems for different things. And then the next thing you're probably going to want to do is you're going to want to upgrade your Alliance Tower. Those are the most important things in the game. Upgrading the Alliance Tower only costs 5 gems to get to level 2, which is totally worthwhile. And those are the main important things. Do those ASAP. Everything else is wait. Do not spend gems on raids. You have scrolls up here that cost gems to use. You do not need them. And even if you find someone that's giving you like 200,000 or 300,000 in loot, if you can't beat him without using the scrolls, it's not worthwhile to scroll. And it's also not worthwhile to resurrect yourself, because when you die, you could use gems to resurrect yourself, and it's not cost efficient. The best way, if you are going to use gems, and if you are going to spend real life money, is to use gems to buy bread. Bread gives you more fights, and then that's also going to give you more medals, which is going to give you more gems. So bread is the only thing that I would advise on spending your gems on after you have gotten your 3rd spell slot. There are other things that you can do, but for the beginning of the game and the early stages, those are the only things that you need gems for. You'll notice here, there are some crazy bases even in the early stages of the game. Now, we saw gargoyles right there, and he has a lot of different monsters. So we're making sure that our troops kind of stay alive there. And unfortunately, that pyromancer shot off a fireball, which did a nice AoE effect and took out our cannon. So typically, you want to have 1 or 2 cannons only, and then the rest other units. The reason being is cannons are very vulnerable, and if you have a whole army of cannons and you accidentally forget to kill the pyromancer like we did there, or you just can't kill the pyromancer before he gets a fireball off, all your cannons are going to be dead. So now that our cannon is dead, we called for another cannon, and it should be slowly coming up here. And again, I am forgetting some basic tips too of using the Hero Scream. The Hero Scream, like I said, is tremendously powerful. You want to make sure it's a very action, fast-paced game, and there are a lot of things that you can control. You can pretty much control your own destiny here. You can beat high-level bases if you think on your feet and you think strategically. So you can see we're going to beat this base with no problem whatsoever, and we still even forgot about using the Hero Scream. The Hero Scream calls your units and makes them a lot faster, so we can maneuver them around to attack the targets that we want them to attack, and also increase their damage output. So right there, we ended up getting 100% because we used the Hero Scream to move the guys over to the other towers. So that's going to do it for the very first start here of the basic tips and tricks of the low-level gameplay. Again, do not worry about the trophies. Go after the medals, go after the gold, and I will see you guys soon for the next part of the video. We're going to talk about spell selection and also upgrades, and then also troop upgrades and troop selection in that video.